What would be the worst thing to hear as you are going under anesthesia before heart surgery? I'm so excited to perform my first brain surgery. Me too. Alright, let's hope this isn't like the last time. It's a new day, people. Let's make the most of this one. Hope this one stays asleep. What the hell is that? This is the guy that scraped my BMW yesterday. So kind of him to donate his organs. I hate this job. F this job. Those malpractice lawsuits are running me into the ground. I don't even care what happens to this guy. I'm all packed up to move to Mexico. I'd like to see him try to sue me too, if he wakes up. Doctor, your wife is online too. She said she's taking the kids and leaving you, and she described the guy she is leaving you for in detail. Kinda looks like this guy on the operating table. So, can you please put down the scalpel? Fire alarm. TBF. They haven't started yet, so they would likely just get you back to consciousness, roll you out the building, maybe at the same time. I'm 100% confident there is a procedure beyond panic and leave the patients in case of an emergency at a hospital. Oops, no joke. I got a tube shoved down my throat once. The last thing I can remember before the anesthetics kicked in was oops. It all worked out fine. It was something stupid, but 4 weeks after I would have flashbacks and pretty shy dreams. I bet you €50 this one lives, depending on how dire your surgery is. This could be reassuring for the surgeon to wager something of theirs on your survival. Here goes nothing, and then nothing happens. You were put in the or by mistake. What was the highest bidding on the liver? Follow up on that Craigslist ad, and let's get moving. Sold to the man with the red shirt. This is a vasectomy guy, right? The orchiotomy guy way worse. I've told this story before, but at my first appointment after changing doctors, I was doing the whole medical history thing with a nurse. When we got previous surgeries, I mentioned I had an orchiopexy when I was 8 years old. The nurse clicked away on her computer, scrolled her way through a drop menu, and repeated back, "So you've had an orchiectomy," to which I flinched badly. No, it was an undescended testicle. They just moved it into place. They didn't cut it out. Third time's a charm. This procedure is fatal in 4 out of 5 cases. My last 4 patients died, so this must be the lucky one. Someone read the manual. What next? I was an anesthesia resident in a case to perform a pericardiocentesis and pericardial window. Patient had lots of blood inside the sheath that surrounds the heart, which restricts the heart's ability to relax and fill and can be deadly. This is a really dangerous procedure to do under general anesthesia, because if the patient stops breathing from the anesthetics, ventilator delivered breaths could further exacerbate the heart filling problem and make the patient code. So basically we drain the blood with the patient awake and minimally sedated. We decided to put some music on for the patient to help him relax. He wanted hard rock, so we put on Metallica Radio. The song that came on Pandora was Shot Through the Heart by Bon Jovi. Not making this up. We all had a good laugh, including the patient. He did well. CRNA here. I had a patient one time ask if he got to pick the music in the or for his CABG. He was a former scrub tech and knew a lot of docs play music in or, he says, 90s country. I typed it into Pandora. First track up, Achi Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus. Patient smirks and says, I suppose that's appropriate. I hope we don't get another power shortage in the building today. I'm a nurse anesthetist and would like to share something that happened to me the other week. The patient had to get an perineal abscess drained. Abscess that basically between ear cheeks. These patients are usually under general anesthesia and lying in prone position with their behind up in the air. This particular patient was a bit on the heavy side. They usually are. But instead of general anesthesia he had spinal anesthesia and was wide awake, similar to epidural anesthesia, paralyzed from their back down. The surgeon entered the OR, fully expecting the patient to be asleep, went to the surgical area and shouted, "Would you look at the A on this moth?" Silence ensued before I stated that the patient is awake. Not another word was said during the operation. I always make a point with regional cases to loudly speak to the patient as I wheel them from the anesthetic room into theater, or the teams aren't always used to awake patients. terrified that this might happen someday, and I know exactly which surgeons it would be. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Being called by a different name. Doctor, so kind of you, M. Roberts, for giving your left kidney to a total stranger. W.B. But I came for a coronary bypass surgery, and my name is William. Doctor, hush, no need to be humble. CRNA, start the anesthesia. Place the patient in prone position, and prepare the Vaseline. Not sure why they want it removed. Anyway, wheel them in. Get his pants off. He doesn't know his family died. Why do patients let themselves get so fat? Not again. It's going to be so hard to cut through all this fat. I've had to hear something like this, both while going under, and as I woke up, I began to cry, because I've been bullied and harassed all my life over my weight. I was lying on that bed, scared and hoping these guys would make my life a bit better. I needed some scar tissue removed from my vagina plus a biopsy due to life impeding cramps and bleeding. I got humiliated and insulted during one of my most vulnerable moments in life so far. The nurses mocked the size of my arms and my general weight, while I was powerless to speak up and literally at their mercy. I have nightmares about it now, and mistrust doctors, even though I fully trust modern medicine. I just lost my license from malpractice. To reverse the situation, long story short, my appendix had burst, and I went in for surgery. After being prepped, the team is getting ready, and the anesthesiologist put the sedative in my eye. I feel my arm get cold, and start feeling woozy. I know I only have a few seconds. I say, guys, I have something to tell you. They all lean in, and look interested. I tell them, the secret of life is, and lose consciousness to the sound of laughter. Possibly the best joke I've ever told. Scalpel? No, thanks. I'm an alternative surgeon. Metal instruments are unnatural. I use my teeth. Oh dark lord, accept my humble sacrifice. All this flesh, just looking at it makes my mouth water. The surgeon saying, man, I got so drunk last night, I still felt like I'm going to throw up and have the shakes really bad. I swear to God, if you guys don't stop giving me shit about leaving my house keys and a patient that one time, I'm gonna walk off the job halfway through and leave you to finish up. The surgeon saying, I don't need to wear a mask, I have freedoms. A while back my dad had to have a stent put in one of his arteries. For whatever reason he wasn't totally under during the procedure, and heard them say something like, oh crap, this is way worse than we thought. Turns out he had a blockage that they call the widowmaker, and he had to go in for emergency open heart surgery. In Japan, heart surgeon, number 1. Steady hand. One day, Yakuza boss need new heart. I do operation. But, mistake, Yakuza boss die. Yakuza very mad. I hide in fishing boat. Come to America. No English. No food. No money. Daryl give me job. Now I have house. American car. And new woman. Daryl save life. My big secret. I kill Yakuza boss on purpose. I good surgeon. The best. My sister actually had an experience like this around age 12. She was going under for a heart test, and as she was passing out she heard the doctor tell the nurse the dose of medicine to administer, and the nurse repeat back the incorrect conversion. She woke up telling my dad they did their math wrong. The doctor ended up coming in to apologize, that she was give 100x the dose she should have, and essentially experienced a mini heart attack.